thank you for having this opportunity, this right, this privilege to be here in Salem today, in Oregon on the West Coast. We understand there's so much going on in this country right now. There's so much, and this country has an opportunity to go somewhere where it's never been, somewhere that we can't even imagine. But the answer is not going to come from us. God, help us understand that. It's not going to come from us. It's going to come from you. And we ask that you help us listen to what it is that we need to do to take this country into a place that's never been, to bring the love back, to bring the freedom back, to destroy the corruption and the establishment that's been ruling over us for way too long. Jesus, I ask that you breathe your life into Washington, into Oregon, and into California. Breathe your life into the entire West Coast and the entire country. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. God bless America. Thank you.
I just want to thank all of you guys for coming out here today, okay? All of you for coming out here to celebrate love, God, freedom, the flag, all these things that these people are trying to tear out of this country. They're trying to rip it from the fabric. All these things that you guys know is so important, and it is so beautiful, and we have to be thankful. We cannot take this stuff for granted anymore. One of the biggest problems, we have these kids. We have these kids who are literally kids, and then some of them are like 30 years old, okay? We have these kids who they've been raised to take for granted the things that we have. They take for granted the freedoms that we have, the freedoms that veterans have fought for or people have died for. And that's done on purpose. They're spoiling them. And they're doing that on purpose because when you're not thankful for something, you won't fight for it. When you don't care about freedom and you take it for granted, you won't put your life on the line for it. You're not going to come out here. You're not going to go marching in Portland. You're not going to be doing any of this stuff, okay? Because you're not thankful for it. And that's the thing that we got to understand. We have to continue to spread the word about freedom. We have to continue to talk to the youth. We have to continue to let them know how important it is, how lucky they actually are that we get to do stuff like this. That I can come out here and I can say, Nancy Pelosi is the most disgusting, fakest politician in the entire world. She is so corrupt, and she can't do a damn thing about it. She can't come down here and put me in chains and lock me away. I can talk all the smack I want about her, and it's so beautiful. And I love it.
Just stop it now. Let's stop it now. Stop it. Look, I want to tell you something.
Seriously, like, it is funny, but think about it. Think about how huge that is, okay? Even the fact that people can... I got invited to a November 4th rally. It's an anti-Trump rally. They want me to speak. I'm like, this has got to be a setup. Like, I don't understand. But seriously, even that, the fact that they can have a rally and they can speak out against our president, okay? Whether you love him or hate him, it's a beautiful thing. And we have to be thankful for the things that we have. Here's the thing that we got to understand. The reason why they want you guys to take this stuff for granted, okay? Because you have so many things that people want to take from you. They want to take from you. It's a spiritual warfare. It's worldly too. But they want to take your freedoms. They can't take it. You have to give it to them. That's why they don't want you to be thankful. They want you to say, this is too hard. This is too rough. I'm done. Put me in chains. I'm done. I'm gonna bend a knee. Go ahead. I'm not gonna go out anymore. I'm not gonna fight for freedom. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut because it's too stressful. It's too hard. There's too many people around me. There's too much drama. There's too much name calling. All this stuff. They're trying to do that so you bend a knee. So you just go home. Stay silent. Here's what they want from you. I said this before. They want you to be a robot. They want you to wake up, just eat your breakfast, go to work, come home, watch TV, and you keep your mouth shut. You don't ever speak out against the establishment. You don't ever speak out against the corruption. You don't ever speak out about all these horrible things that's going on in our country, especially on the West Coast. I am sick and tired of the brainwashing and the lies. The deception is running this West Coast, and it's at a cultural level, and I'm sick of it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about spiritual battles. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. All of it's fake, none of it's real, because the only thing, the spiritual world, the only impact it has over you is it tries to impact your free will. It tries to convince you to give up. It tries to convince you to quit. It does everything it can to convince you that there's no point, there is no purpose, it is too hard, it is too rough, so you just keep your mouth shut, go home, go to bed, don't you ever wake up again, okay? Now I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. Okay, I want to talk about this. One of the reasons why a lot of atheists appreciate what I do, even though, I'm an open, I believe in Jesus, I follow God, is because there's a lot of things that I talk about, whether you believe Jesus was a son of God or not, there's a lot of wisdom behind some of the things that he preached. There's a lot of wisdom, no matter what you believe about him. And there's so much going on right now, and it's so easy to be discouraged, not just in this movement, but just in life in general. Okay, so I want to tell you a quick story. This is what I do. This is what I always go back to whenever I'm going through things. Whenever I get distracted, whenever I'm having a hard time in my life, okay, I always think about Peter. They wake up in the boat, right? They wake up and they just see some dude walking on water out in the middle of the night. Okay, obviously that's Jesus, and he's really confused. Jesus says, come and walk to me. Okay, so he has a goal in his mind, right? He has a goal. He sees Jesus out in the water. Okay, and he's going to walk towards him. He's going to walk towards something good, towards something beautiful. We're talking about love. We're talking about peace. We're talking about truth. We're talking about all these things. He's going to walk to, and he's literally walking on water, okay? Which I'm here to tell you, whether you believe it or not, if you're focused on something good, okay? You see something good, you're focused, you go to it, I guarantee you can move mountains. You can walk on water. You can do some of those amazing miracles in the world if you keep your focus on that. But here's what happens, okay? Here's the spiritual warfare that we're dealing with, the mental aspect of it. All of a sudden, the storm comes barging in, like all of you know, the huge waves, the wind, all that stuff, and his focus goes from here to his goal, whatever that may be. Okay, his goal right here. And all of a sudden, it's the wind, it's the storm, it's the waves, and the fear comes in. And you lose complete focus. And what happens when you lose faith and you lose focus, and what happens is he begins to sink. He begins to drown, and then he gets even more afraid and more afraid. Okay? And that's the thing that I always go back to every single time I'm having a hard time. Every single time I'm discouraged in this movement, with my family, with anything, whatever it may be. Okay? At that last moment, okay, he put his hand out and he said, Jesus, save me. Save me. Okay? And Jesus calmly walks up, puts his hand out, he said, kind of laughs at him, says, you've no faith. Puts his hand out and pulls him out. Pulls him out, and once again, his focus is on the right thing. And that's what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't easy what we're doing, okay? We're trying to change the world here. We're trying to change the world, so there's going to be so many storms coming in. So many. All over the place. It's going to come from within. It's going to come from outside. It's going to come from all over the place. But you have to stay focused. You have to believe, and you have to stay faithful. And you got to keep focus and faith. That's the thing. You got to take that wind, that storm, and you got to use it to power your sailboat. Take that wind and get out there and go towards what you believe in. Okay. The other thing that I want to talk about. Here's what I do. Okay. And this is the thing there's a reason why you guys are out here today, so you understand this. Some people are going to watch this video who believe what we believe in. They don't want to do anything though. They're staying at home. They're afraid. They're scared. Whatever it may be. Okay. The one thing that's always motivated me, the thing I always think about, that's so important to me, is I think about when Jesus was carrying the cross, okay? I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if he's a man, whatever you believe, okay? You think about this man, this innocent man, carrying the cross in front of the mob, and the mob just yelling at him, screaming at him, throwing stuff at him, spitting on him, treating him like trash because of the mob mentality. This innocent man who didn't do a damn thing, just walking, carrying the cross, bleeding and in pain, okay? And what you have to understand is the majority of the crowd were just going along with it, just yelling at him and screaming at him, and that's the easy thing to do, right? That's the easy thing to do. Just go with the mob. Go with the mob. It's the brainwashing, okay? But there's people in the crowd.
You know what? It's a private event.
It's a private event. Like innocent man.
I can't hear you. It's a private event. You're not wanted here. This is sparked up.
What event? What event? What event?
Why are you doing this? What does that mean? That right there is a private event. You're not wanted here. Get out.
Why?
Unbeknownst to these people, they don't even know I'm a
Ignorant.
born in El Tibet Summit. So for people who are telling me to leave Berkeley, they need to kind of rethink and reevaluate themselves because they're actually the ones who need to fuck off. I'm a Berkeley High graduate.
He's shaking, Joey. He's shaking.
So it's funny that you have that hatred. I'm asking you, why do you have hatred? Is that why you can't, there's nothing to debate because you have hatred? Is that what it is?
He can't even answer, bro.
You have hatred,
I know.
so you can't debate. Is that what it is?
Hey, this goes along the whole prayer. It goes along the whole prayer, Joey. They don't want to debate. They just want to hate.
Debate is between people who actually listen to each other.
Why? It's not just showing up here today or showing up at other things or whatever you're doing on Facebook. It starts at home. It starts with your coworkers, your family. It starts with just walking down the street. You can be in Safeway just being nice to one another. just treating each other with kindness, with love, just smiling to a random stranger, okay? And being good to one another. That stuff does not stop there. It goes from one person to the next, okay? I'm here to tell you, I'm going to finish up here, but here's one thing that I say this all the time, but it's so important, okay? Love and hatred, they're both contagious, both of them. So when you live your life out of love, you go from spot to spot, you do something to somebody, and you act out of love. It doesn't matter if it's an enemy, it doesn't matter if it's a friend. That love does not just stop there. It impacts that person, and it goes from one person to the next, and you are helping change this world to become a better place. But that's the difference between, we have these other people who are hateful, and they go from one person to the next being hateful, and they're doing everything they can to make this world a dark place, to bring it down. That's why you guys got to go out. When you leave here today, I'm sure you're already doing, when you go out there today, every single person you talk to, every opportunity you have, you act out of kindness, you act out of love, okay? You promote freedom, and you do everything you can to make this country a better place.
Good luck with that. God really accepts that.
Can you say anything to help me understand where you're coming from? Why? Because you don't have the ability, because I don't listen. I know they have. But I don't. You can't even explain why. You can't even have a conversation.
Sorry, I'm just trying to let students here have their space that they want without interference, without intimidation.
Kyle, can you believe this? Can you believe this shit? Look at this little, I know. Yeah, there's nothing to debate.
Are you trying to promote?
It's written all over his sign. Look at his stupid ass smile.
You should be against hate.
No shit, bud. Do you want a hug? Do you need a hug?
Moral authority. There's always something to